The very first thing the man did after returning to the day before the apocalypse was slaughter every single cow on his family's farm. Those cows had been the Zhou family's entire livelihood. The villagers who saw it were stunned, whispering that he'd gone completely mad. His ex-girlfriend stood nearby, mocking him, "Even if you sell all those cows, it's still not enough to cover my 80 grand dowry. Besides, I've already found a rich boyfriend to take over. You should just give up." Before she could finish, Zhou snapped, "Get lost. Don't waste my time. I've got cows to kill." He knew no one around him would understand, because only he knew 3 hours from now, hell was coming. The end wouldn't start with humans. It would start with animals. Livestock would mutate first, turning bloodthirsty and feral, attacking anything alive. Then the virus would spread to humans, faster than anyone could imagine. Within a month, the world would fall. In his last life, he watched helplessly as his family died in front of him. But this time, he swore that wouldn't happen again. Just then, Zhou's parents arrived in a panic. His father shouted, "What the hell is going on? If there's a problem, talk it out. How are we supposed to live if you butcher all our cattle?" The moment Zhou heard their voices, he froze. The knife slipped from his hand and clattered to the ground. He rushed forward and threw his arms around them. His voice trembled. "It's so good to see you again. This time, I swear, I'll protect you no matter what." His parents stared at him, completely confused by his strange behavior. But Zhou didn't stop. He said, "There's no time to explain. You just have to trust me. We have to kill all the cattle now and sell the meat. Every minute counts." His father looked into his son's eyes, hesitated for a beat, then nodded. "All right, I trust you." After all, his son was the only college graduate in the village. If he was this serious, he had to know something they didn't. His mother gave a long sigh, rolled up her sleeves, and silently joined the slaughter. The onlookers stared in disbelief. The whole family's lost it, haven't they? Zhou checked the time. Only a few hours left before everything would fall apart. He turned to the crowd and shouted, "I need 3 guys to help butcher the cattle. 800 yuan each, cash in hand." The idle men around perked up instantly, pushing and yelling over each other for a chance to earn quick money. Without wasting a second, Zhou called up a local butcher and sold off all the beef at half price, with one condition: cash only and fast. His parents watched in silent pain as the cows they'd raised over years were reduced to meat and money in mere hours. But Zhou didn't stop to explain. He stuffed the cash in his pocket and said, "I have to head into town." Before leaving, he turned back and firmly told them, "Stay inside. No matter what you hear, don't open that gate. Wait for me." Then he jumped into the truck and sped off down the dirt road. First stop, he bought everything he could find for self-defense. Then he raided the pharmacy, clearing the shelves of every emergency supply in stock. But there was still one thing Zhou needed more than anything: gunpowder. He knew in the early stages of the apocalypse, whoever had firepower had control. He took the rest of his cash to a small factory that, on the surface, made fireworks. But behind closed doors, they dealt in illegal black powder. The kicker? The owner of the place was none other than Lin Jie, the guy who stole his girlfriend. Zhou walked in and slammed a duffel bag full of cash on the table. Lin Jie raised an eyebrow, then burst out laughing. "Well, look who's back. Still hung up on that girl, huh? What's this? Dowry money? You trying to win Li Qin back with explosives?" Zhou's expression didn't even flinch. "I'm here for business. How much powder you got left? I'll take all of it." Lin Jie's smile froze. His tone shifted, wary now. "We're a legitimate company. We don't deal in anything shady." Zhou smirked. "You sure? 'Cause last year, there was this woman in a blue coat found near the back mountain. Should I dig her up and ask what really goes on here?" Lin Jie's face went pale. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead. After a long pause, he turned to the woman beside him. "Li Qin, take him to the storage." As Zhou left, Lin Jie leaned back, chuckling coldly. "So, someone actually knows about that little secret?" His eyes narrowed with malice. "Well then, I guess he won't be around much longer." Zhou returned home with his supplies and quickly called out for his older brother to help unload. But his brother had bad news. their younger sister, who was studying in town, hadn't come back yet. Zhou froze. In his past life, she had already been home by now. Could his early actions have triggered a butterfly effect? There were only 30 minutes left before the outbreak began. Without another word, he jumped back into the truck and sped off toward town. "Don't leave the house," he shouted behind him. "No matter what you hear, don't open the door until I get back." Tires screeched as he floored the gas, racing toward the school. He knew most infections on day one started with animals, but schools were packed with people, and once it hit there, all hell would break loose. Suddenly, the truck jolted violently, as if it had hit something. Zhou slammed the brakes and leapt out to check. A mutated dog lay in the road, twitching, its eyes glowing blood red, fangs dripping with thick black ooze. The outbreak had already begun. Meanwhile, news of Zhou slaughtering his cattle had already gone viral at Qingshan High. His younger sister, Zhou Ying, was instantly branded the school freak. In class, Li Xiaoya saw Zhou Ying staying quiet and got bolder with every word. Waving her phone, she sneered, "Your whole family's nuts. Your college brother killed all your cows just to marry some village girl? Pathetic." Zhou Ying snapped. She slammed her desk and knocked the phone clean out of Li Xiaoya's hand. Just then, the teacher walked in, saw the mess, and confiscated the phone without a word. After class, while Zhou Ying stayed behind to clean, Li Xiaoya ambushed her. She shoved her to the floor and pulled out a utility knife. "You broke my phone, freak. Time to pay for it." But before she could move, her body began convulsing violently. A jet of black blood spewed from her mouth. She collapsed, choking and vomiting uncontrollably. Zhou Ying screamed and stumbled toward the hallway in terror. The entire school was already in chaos. Cries of pain, screams for help, and the sound of pure horror echoed down every corridor. Zhou Ying barely had time to process what was happening. A zombified classmate, with bulging eyes and a torn open mouth, lunged at her. She collapsed in terror, frozen to the floor. The zombie missed, crashing face first into the ground with a sickening thud. Just then, Li Xiaoya staggered out of the classroom, now fully turned. Her body twisted unnaturally, a grotesque grin plastered across her face. She shrieked and charged straight at Zhou Ying. But right before impact, wham! Zhou arrived just in time, landing a flying kick that sent Li Xiaoya hurtling down the hallway. Smashing through a window, the other zombie got back on its feet. Zhou didn't hesitate. He drew his short blade in one swift motion. With a single flash of steel, the zombie's head hit the floor before the body did. Zhou turned around and saw his little sister, Zhou Ying, trembling and crying. Trying to lighten the mood, he teased, "Come on, I could hear you screaming from the next town over." The school was completely overrun now. Screams echoed from every direction. Zhou grabbed her hand. "Let's go. No time to waste." They sprinted for the parking lot. Inside the car, Zhou Ying forced a shaky smile. "That was intense. Are we sure this isn't some horror movie shoot?" Zhou glanced over and saw her right through her facade. He spoke gently. "You can cry, you know. The world's changed, and we've got to learn how to live in it. Mom, Dad, and Big Brother, they're home, and they're safe." Zhou Ying finally managed a weak smile. But back in their village, under the illusion of peace, danger was already brewing. When they arrived home and confirmed everyone was safe, Zhou nodded. "I need to find someone," he said quietly. His mother started to protest, but Zhou Ying stepped in. "Let him go," she said, her voice calm and resolute. The girl who had just run for her life now saw it clearly. Her brother was no longer the same man he used to be. Zhou could feel something stirring inside him, a strange, surging power rising from the chaos within. It was raw, untamed, but filled with infinite possibility. His thoughts drifted to a figure from his past life, a lone warrior who carved through the zombie tide like a ghost. If he could find that man in this life, he'd be an invaluable ally. Meanwhile, at the village committee building, Xiao Bingbing was bracing herself against the door with all her might. She still believed the villagers were just panicking, not fully grasping the threat. Crack! A large grayish-blue hand